Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and our last Dutch commander here, the man, the myth, the goat for the Dutch, Piet Heyn, a legendary Dutch commander and really one of the best characters in the game as well. So we're going to jump right in and see what he brings us and why really when you're playing in the right points level, because he is an expensive character, like this guy is phenomenal. So 36 points. I can't remember, he may have gotten a slight tweak on the most recent FAQ with the points. We'll have to double check that. But basically, he can lead the Dutch Navy, the Dutch Privateers, or his own special force. Again, we've done videos on all of those, so go check those out again as well. Now we're getting the brace of pistols and the standard melee weapon, so as far as gear goes, he is good to go. But check that out, 20-inch command range. That is fantastic. So 40-inch bubble around him, covering huge chunks of the board there, so we really get a lot of flexibility there, and of course the 3 command points. But then just take a look at this collection of abilities, we'll call it, because he has a lot. He's got very inspiring, so we're gonna get maximum use out of those command points with rallying and keeping our force in the fight. Broadside, again, we've covered that so often with all the naval commanders or naval-based commanders, but we'll repeat it here just because it's worth it for our main man here. So when we're fighting on the water, of course, we want to damage the enemy ships and gradually, erode their hit point pool or damage pool, whatever you want to call it, that they can take, and gradually, eventually sink them. But one of the best ways to really accelerate that and also just diminish their ability to fight back against you, perhaps just catastrophically put them in a bad spot, is with critical effects and critical damage. And one of the best ways to do that is with broadside, where we're really increasing our chances of scoring those awesome critical hits when we do give cannon salvos. So anything from fires to flooding, damaging their sails, rigging, steering, etc., amongst other things. There's just so many wonderful effects that we can apply to enemy ships, and in some cases really maybe even put them in such a bad spot that there's little risk to our own forces, or at least reducing the risk, because they're going to be busy trying to keep their ship afloat and less focused on harming your own forces. Commodore, of course, spreading that command range out across multiple ships, good stuff there. We get Indomitable, Bold, God's Blessing, or the Devil's Luck. So just a huge pile of abilities for him here. So we'll take a look at the other ones in just a moment, but we are paying a huge points investment, but again, he's well worth it with everything that we're getting here. So let's jump in to the others. So, in discussing the latter abilities, let's start with God's Blessing or the Devil's Luck, because that one's pretty rare across characters and really reserved for like the high-end characters. But basically, we get a 4th fortune point, which I don't need to tell you how big of a deal that is. Just yet another tool in the toolbox here that we have. 3 command points, 4 fortune points is phenomenal, and what we can do with that throughout the game lets us also be a little bit more aggressive with those fortune points, and spending those maybe a little bit earlier than we might otherwise do. So we have that. Now, Indomitable and Bold, really good stuff there. So with Bold, we can always issue command points, whether we're shaken or not, or even in melee. So he's like, I just don't care. I'm just going to keep issuing command points, which can keep his own unit in the fight longer as well. And then Indomitable is nice as well. So basically, if we start a turn with any amount of fatigue, we're just going to get a free removal of one of those points of fatigue. So if we started shaken and that drops us below shaken, then we can act normally. So just free actions essentially over the course of the game there if his unit does pick up some fatigue. But we certainly do want to keep him alive and active as much as possible, right? So definitely sticking him in one of our best units, and ideally one of the largest units, just so that he has as many bodies around him as possible. But overall, just a absolutely superb character. This is like what top tier characters look like in the game, and certainly for the Dutch as well. And then we have some choices on his forces. Let us know in the comments, guys, where you feel that you've had the most success with running him, whether it's the Navy, the Privateers, or his own custom force, and at what points level do you typically tend to field him. let us know your successes as well, or if you've run up against him and how you fared. Did you win? Did you lose? What was the engagement? So hit us up in the comments there. But yeah, this is one of the best characters in the game. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.